When I put down my glass. Okay. Move cover here. Okay. Patisserie is next to the Alchemist Guild. Right. Could run from here, but we can just teleport. Teleport! Use wind stand to walk slightly faster. Please tell me something. Anything. Will the one come to see the lad in silver armor? Master Demielio is attending to him as we speak. If you would be so kind as to wait. What did Master Demielio say? Tell me his exact words. Let the chirurgeons do their work. I'm scolding him. But you're right. Forgive me. When we said our farewells to Arenval, I was afraid that something like this might happen. But now that it has, all I can do is wait. Damn, dude. He cares so much. There she is. You think I'm gonna take a flashback from her?
Have you been waiting here all this time?
We have done what we can. The rest is up to him.
Oh, this guy sounds like a one-line voice actor.
May we see him?
2-line? We're gonna get 2 lines out of him?
I do not think that wise. You must let him sleep.
Damn, 2 lines. He's gone forever now. We're not gonna see that guy again. Oh, yeah. We might get 1 more line out of him.
Thank you for bringing him back. He owes you his life.
It's so dramatic. We just went on a desert vacation. We just beat up a dragon and stuff like that, and now we gotta get to this depressing part. Oh, yeah.
I just wish I had been there. Perhaps, I don't know. Perhaps I could have.
Oh my god. he's gonna push him. Oh, I should have punched him.
Could have what? Got tempered? Don't flatter yourself. You can't save everyone. No one can. Not even the warrior of bloody light.
That's me. Yeah. But that's the thing, right? You can't just have action, right? You gotta have action, then you gotta decompress, go down on the scale of things happening on screen, all the way to the bottom of just characters talking, so that you can start to go back up again for the climactic ending. The more hype on average your game has, the less hype the progression of things will be, right? The climax won't be as climactic as if you're doing things that's better, that's more hype at the start, right? So you gotta pace yourself. Not even me.
People die all the time, for no good reason. And those who take up the sword die quicker than most.
See, Fredola here, she's a real pessimist.
If you're going to shed a tear every time a soldier falls on the battlefield, you'd best stay away. It's no place for the weak of heart.
It feels like she's repeating something that was told to her when one of her friends died. Almost.
It may be, that victory cannot be won without cost. But all life is precious, and I refuse to shrug at its loss.
He said it.
All life is precious. Oh, you need to grow up, little man, before your sparkling ideals get everyone killed.
Oops, I dropped something. Whoops. Oh, life is precious, blah blah blah. She's sandbagging him pretty much. God, grip this thing. Shit. Oh.
You're right. He is idealistic. But the world has more than its fair share of realists, like you and me.
Oh. What? She got told.
It's people like him who dare to dream that things could be better and make it happen against all the odds. They are the ones whose names live on forever. The heroes.
Okay. He laid it on a little thick there, trying to support his little bro.
The battlefield's littered with would-be heroes. At this rate, you'll lot'll be next. And what'll become of your precious dreams then? They'll be gone. Like dust on the wind.
See, all of her friends sacrificed themselves for her. And then they didn't get anything out of it.
Dreams worth fighting for don't die so
They wanted to be heroes, but on the other side. Dreams worth fighting for don't die so easily. She's being turned towards being idealistic because she used to be, and things didn't work out. So she doesn't want to. She doesn't want to give credence to the fact that she could still be idealistic now. We're slowly melting her heart, bros. I know. There's nothing more that I can do here. Come, let us rejoin the others. Grace invites the Scions of the Seventh Dawn to join her in the Fragrant Chamber. Your comrades have already arrived. Will the three of you be joining them? We will. We will. Okay. Yeah, it shouldn't. I feel like they didn't show too much else. We're missing Xenos. We're missing Fandaniel. Oh, I nodded. What's up? We're gonna stand? It took all the chairs?
Your Grace, pray forgive us our lateness.
Think not of that. I understand a close comrade of yours was wounded in the line of duty. Arenvold. It was at the Alliance's behest that he risked all, and we are grieved to hear of his condition. Rest assured, he will receive the finest care our chirurgeons can provide. On that you have my word. Now, we would share with you the findings of the mission. Pippin, pray relate to our guests the details of Fordola's account.
Fordola's account. She's gonna start talking. Then I'm gonna get a flashback.
First Bahamut, now Ifrit. Or Lunar Ifrit, as Fan Daniel would doubtless have it.
Okay. Lunar Ifrit.
It is now all but certain that the towers were conceived to facilitate the summoning of primals by those imprisoned within. Less certain is the means by which the Telophoroi constrain the wills of said entities to enact their designs in defiance of the pleas of their victims.
Constraining the wills of said entities.
Mayhap they do not. If mere proximity to the towers is enough to make loyal servants of the Empire's mortal enemies, it stands to reason that the same is true for those held captive. They invoke their gods for the good of Garlemald, and in their disturbed state of mind, summon a primal whose form reflects their own alteration.
Bro, double?
It all begins to make sense. Upon closer inspection, I realized that the towers bear a striking resemblance to a much larger structure which Urianger and I observed from afar during our visit to the Imperial capital.
What?
Assuming it too is capable of tempering those in its immediate vicinity, it would go some way to explain the swiftness with which the Telophoroi managed to rally so many Imperials to their cause.
While the situation in Garlemald is indeed troubling, I fear we have more immediate concerns.
Immediate concerns?
Ifrit was not the only primal summoned. At approximately the same time, observers at several other towers bore witness to the emergence of further such entities.
Oh. Oh no.
For a blessing, none appear to wield aught approaching the destructive power of Bahamut, and the Grand Companies are moving
that's
to
good.
deal with the threat even as we speak.
The Grand Companies, Your Grace? Is that wise?
Though we are aware that the task will not be easy, we would call upon the Scions only as a last resort. Pray, conserve your strength for now. After all, it was not so very long ago that you rid us of Bahamut. On which note, I am pleased to report that our
Oh my
talks with the
God, what
Armada
happened
have
in
reached
the
an
Discord?
agreeable conclusion. They have pledged their full support to our cause. It is our hope that this historic agreement will encourage other tribes to join us at the negotiating table. And I know that I speak for all of the Allied leaders when I say that we will welcome them with open arms at such time as they do. Of course, this was only made possible by the feats of heroism performed at Paglfan. Moreover, we shall not allow the sacrifices of those fallen in battle to have been made in vain. As hope leads to victory, shall victory lead to a new dawn for Eorzea.
May these words ever be our guide, Your Grace.
Everyone stands the Sultana.
Now, if you will forgive me, I must consult with the Syndicate on the matter of our new allies' integration. Till next we meet, my friends, I bid you safe travels and blessed respite.
Okay, what the? Where am I? Oh, outside her chambers. That I don't know. That cutscene kind of ended, then they started speaking about stuff I didn't care about. I don't know. I was kind of distracted. Okay, there's no reason to linger. I will take my leave. It was like inspiration talk by the Sultana or something. Amidst this great push for peace with the Beast Tribes, we would do well to remember that old prejudices yet remain. It's a delicate political dance. We do not envy the Sultana her task, nor any alliance leader. Alfino knows only too well that sacrifices are an inevitable part of conflict, but knowing something does not change how one feels about it. You yourself have shared adventures with Arenvald, have you not? Then I shall say no more. With the secrets of the towers thus laid bare, our duty to prevent further abductions taketh on new import. Fail in this, and our enemy shall punish our negligence with the plague of primals. Even without the threat of tempering to contend with, the Grand Companies have quite the task on their hands. Regardless of her Grace's protestations to the contrary, it may be best to dispatch a few of our own to assist in the endeavor. Remind me not to mention it to Tataru, would you? Remind me to mention it to Tataru. We have won our first battle against the Telephoroi. Made significant discoveries to boot. The war has scarcely begun. We must steel ourselves for what lies ahead. Right then, unless anyone has any objections, I think it's about time we return to the Rising Stones. Nod. That's a sip. I knew I was gonna nod in this one. And that includes you, Alfino. Arenvald is in good hands here. Of course, you would doubtless mock me for pacing about the infirmary. Let us retire then, that we might regain our strength in readiness for the coming challenges. If all are in agreement then, I shall let Kryl know to expect us. A hot bath and a hearty meal shouldn't be beyond arranging with the time available. It will be good to be home. I have some thinking to do. Yes, I'll try asking him. And thank you. I shall look forward to it. Our comrades eagerly await our return, and Kryl, in particular, has a few matters she's keen to discuss, one of which concerns you, Estinier. Believe it or not, you will join us, won't you? Fine. Fine. Really? I thought you said you were avoiding that Baldesian woman. What? Staring contest? If I refused, she would only pursue me. Let's get this over with, shall we? Okay, so this might be like the break between the two parts of the main story. I'm about to reach 3 hours and a half now. I'm guessing this is not longer than 4 hours. Right? Okay. That's the thing. We see a scene with Xenos, which is most probably in the trailer, right? Which is most probably one of the scenes we haven't seen yet. So I'm thinking there's another kind of long chunk of cutscenes we're gonna get at the Rising Stones. Because the Rising Stones is usually the part that the part where it like we come back to there and then we start from there whenever there's a new whenever there's a new story, right? So it's only 2 zones, so we can just talk, right? So there's are involved in the infirmary. Fordola kind of left. But I do feel like we see Fordola somewhere else in the trailer. So there might be like another kind of action scene where we go right to it and it breaks there. I don't know. Kind of feels weird. Kind of feels like I might be missing something. Yeah, so there's definitely like a scene with Xenos. And I do think we see Fordola with a gunblade in the trailer. Right? Do see Xenos. So I think, yeah, we might be missing like a bunch of cutscenes. They could just all play in a chunk at the end, I guess. Could be Fordola confronting someone, Xenos somewhere, Fandaniel doing something, Alphino and Alizé growing big overnight for the expansion. Probably not. One day they're gonna grow big. It's gonna be a slight time skip. They're gonna be adults. The internet will explode with fan art of them. Oh, okay. Cutscene as soon as we enter. Wow, I didn't actually expect this.
Welcome back. I expect you must all be exhausted. Ere you take your rest, however, I would beg a moment of your time.
Alright.
Thanks to Arenvold's selfless efforts, we may now be confident that we understand the function of the towers. But many questions remain regarding the reason for the summonings, and what lurks behind the looming edifice in Garlemald. Until such questions are answered, we will struggle to devise an effective strategy for thwarting the Telophoroi's stated aim. Nothing less than the destruction of this star. And so, given the gravity of the situation, I move that we petition the aid of Sharlayan.
Whoa. Sharlayan?
'Tis possible the ancient knowledge preserved within their archives may hide a clue to our enemy's methods. But given Sharlayan's established policy of non-intervention, our former colleagues are not like to aid us in its discovery.
Oh, I well remember what they're like. The Forum's barefaced refusal to assist you in the days prior to the calamity must rank as Sharlayan's most shameful act since the Exodus. But were the final days to be reenacted, it would spell doom for us all. Surely even they cannot turn a blind eye to that. I trust we are all of the same mind on this matter. Urgent as it seemed, I took the liberty of petitioning the Alliance for leave to act as Eorzea's emissary, and have since received their blessing.
Okay, so she's immediately gonna go there?
I presume your role as a student of Baldessian will carry some weight with the Forum?
The Forum?
One can but hope. If truth be told, our organization has been a shadow of its former self ever since the disappearance of the Isle of Val. But the name does still retain some degree of prestige. I only pray it will be enough. If there are no objections, I shall depart for Sharlayan at once. But before I do, I should also mention the other matter to which I would devote some time during my stay. After hearing what transpired in the first, I began to question the true nature of Hydaelyn's blessing. A topic I have discussed at some length with Y'shtola.
We were wondering, when was the last time Hydaelyn spoke to you directly?
Oh boy. That day in the Crystarium. That day in the Crystarium? No. That day in the Crystarium was only a recreation. Was it? I could hear her, but I could not. I'd say the first one. I feel like she's asking about a conversation, right? Not just hearing a message directly to me, right? Okay, I'll say that.
When you regained her blessing, was it not? But never since. Not in all your time in the first, when you faced the Unsundered, the very heart of Zodiark.
History shows us that Hydaelyn is able to awaken the echo in her chosen, convey her will directly, and grant the blessing of light. To our knowledge, however, she has not sought to intervene in man's affairs for some considerable time.
Might not the explanation for that lie with her choice of champion? Mayhap she is content to trust in her judgment.
Mayhap she is. But following my initial discussion with Kryl, I made inquiries of my own. And as far as I'm able to tell, Hydaelyn has not made her will known to anyone.
During my time in the First, the Oracle of Light spoke to me through Reen. But that was not the will of Hydaelyn. It was Minfilia herself.
It was Minfilia herself.
Indeed. And while she and Hydaelyn were inextricably linked, Minfilia yet acted of her own volition. A messenger, yes, but one who spoke with her own voice.
They're talking about...
Could Hydaelyn's silence suggest the presence of some disruptive force, perhaps? Some obstacle to communication? While I share Urianger's high opinion of your conduct, I see no reason why she would deny you her guidance altogether. Then again, who am I to say? The fact is, we simply don't know. But if the explanation is to be found anywhere, I can think of worse places to look than the archives of Sharlayan, and their research on the Ethereal Sea in particular. Resolved though I am to go, believe me when I say that I take no pleasure in the thought of leaving you a member short. Now, of all times.
She's already pretty short.
We stand on the eve of a struggle that will decide the fate of this star. One in which we Scions may play a telling part, yet we are but few in number.
Is Kryl the lady in black from Demon Souls?
And so I must ask you again. Will you join us?
Is it? Doesn't say so on this site.
You see the world the way you want it to be. I see the world the way it is. You are idealistic to a fault.
No, it's not. They kind of sound similar. Okay, I went on a wild goose chase there. Okay, it's not. Okay, you see the world the way you want it to be. See the world the way it is.
But I know you would never turn your back on those in need. Never close your eyes to their suffering. And somehow, your deeds lend truth to your words, giving the lie to my doubts in so doing.
What? No, I don't think that's how that works.
I have seen others draw strength from your belief. In Ishgard, in Alamigo, you inspired them to stand up and fight. To win, no less. And even when you lost those you held dear, you carried their spirit with you. And made their memory
This is so
your guiding
anime too.
light.
Such an anime monologue, bro.
So many hopes and dreams would be too heavy for most to bear. But you bear it willingly, as you have shown me. Some dreams are too important to let go.
This definitely sounds like something you should be reading instead of having someone talk it.
If you have need of my strength, it's yours. After all you've done, how could I refuse?
Maybe this needed like an editing pass.
Thank you,
It
Estinian.
felt kind of forced. Not necessarily the fact that he monologues, but
Whatever challenges await us, I shall not falter. You have my word.
he's gonna hug him. Why is everyone happy? Because he said yes.
And now, I may bid you farewell. Safe in the knowledge that all is as it should be. In this little corner of the world, at least.
You will be sorely missed. Tread warily in Charlian, and do try not to let the Forum embroil you in their politics. A forlorn hope, I know, given the individuals involved.
I shall do my very best. Farewell.
Farewell, bro. Meanwhile,
Does this one meet with your approval?
Maybe it's gonna end on this, I guess.
Or could it be that you're still upset about the dragons?
The dragons. Look at all those swords and hammers and clubs.
You are unwise to remind me of so costly a failure. It will not affect our plans, I trust.
Oh, hardly at all. Though, admittedly, the chances of us being able to procure any more Mericidian dragons are rather slimmer following Tiamat's reappearance. Oh, but the seeds have been sown, my lord. We have only to wait for them to quicken. Speaking of preparations, is it safe to assume that you will be ready to control you-know-what?
You know what? What are they talking about?
The hour draws nigh. This nation, forged for Ascian ends, will finally prove its worth.
A mighty empire, now no more than an instrument of this star's destruction. What a pleasure it will be to put it to use. Which brings me back to our earlier topic. My lord, while I appreciate that it is not an easy decision, it really is past time you chose your weapon.
There is one that I have been meaning to test.
Oh, he's gonna do it. He's gonna show off the new job. What's the new job? Is it skateboarder?
Well, not quite what I was expecting. Though I will say, it does seem rather apt.
Oh no, it's hidden. We can't see it. He's gonna pick it up. What is he gonna pick up? It's gotta be a skateboard. Oh, come on. Come on. Amidst all the fighting, it's easy to forget what we've achieved, isn't it? I mean, we cured Tiamat. Tiamat! You will tell me if I become insufferably smug, won't you? Because the way things are going, it feels like a definite possibility. None can deny that Heidelin's blessing has been a great boon to our cause, but much remains unknown with regard to her true intentions. Given everything we have learned from our encounters with the Ascian, we must keep our minds open to any and all possibility. We know not the full extent of the Telephoroi's schemes. Preventing further abductions must take precedence above all else, for therein lieth the key to depriving our enemy of its most potent weapons. It strikes me as odd that rather than marching on one of the city-states, Telephoroi have so far made only sporadic attacks. I doubt they'd go to the trouble of putting up all those towers if that was all they had in store for us. The sudden appearance of the towers will surely have not escaped the forum's notice. I would like to think they would be receptive to Kryle's request for cooperation in investigating the matter, but unfortunately, their reputation would suggest otherwise. If I am to pursue this course, I must be prepared with the hardships that lie ahead. Oops. Okay. If you need of my lance, I'll be ready. If not, I'll be reserving my strength in preparation of the next battle. But since you're here, I have a question. The Scions are in close contact with the East Aldenar Trading Company of Kugane, yes? I was wondering if they could place an order for some sun-dried squid. Don't seem to be able to find it in these parts. Oh, he likes squid? He likes the calamari? Looks like I'm going to have a busy few moons. Not that they ever seem to be anything but. Thanker has got me dispatching troops to every corner of the realm. Which is not to say I don't trust the Alliance, because I do. But when it comes to putting down primals, nobody does it better than us. Well, than you lot. More accurately, you won't catch me trading blows with the primal in the near future. But for every fell fiend you vanquish, there's countless meals to arrange, bats to fill, sheets to wash, swords to replenish, and the list goes on. Which is where I come in. and gladly, mind you. The least I can do to support the scions who risk life and limb, like poor Arenvald. Wish this was something we could do for him. We'll just have to settle for saying the odd prayer and keeping a roof over our heads. Wouldn't do to have him come back to complete shambles now, would it? That's enough of my rambling. Off you go and get some rest. If there are any developments, I promise you'll be the first to know. And that's it for the first part. So that was about 3 hours, I would say, right? We kind of didn't do the dungeon too fast, right? So if there's going to be a part 2 to this, and I'm guessing it's going to be another 3 hours, right? So, alright. Let's see what these guys have to say. When the tower rose up in Yangsha, the first thought was to stay in Doma to keep my grandfather safe. But when we heard the news of Bahamut's return, he bid me to return to the Rising Stones to aid my fellow scions. He sends his regards, by the way. Hoary Boulder certainly cut a fine figure as he set off on his latest mission. Well, it's sad to see him live, and my nights will be lonelier with just the one brother to keep me company. Although Arenvald and I both serve the scions, I'm afraid that I have a few opportunities to speak with the lad. I do hope he is fit to return to active duty soon. Been keeping me good eye on the towers and telling others to do the same. Of course, I don't mean just us scions. I've got a whole network of scouts to keep me informed. Alize has been teaching me how to cure tempering using a proxy. I must say, the thought of being in such close proximity to one of the afflicted is rather daunting. We sent Coulternay and the others to be our eyes and ears on the field. Wherever the Telephoroi appear next, we'll be among the first to know. Alright, that's gonna be it for now. I might stream later at like 9 or 10, do the near raid and all the near side quest. But I think that might also take a long while though, so who knows. Let's see how I feel then, right? Alright. See you next time.